once again.
Hello there, it's Jimmy at O'Reilly's Mobile Mechanics here, and we've just come to look at a Vauxhall Insignia. So here's the car. It's a Vauxhall Insignia 2.0 CDTI engine, and it's losing power and it's got the engine light on, so just got the bonnet open here ready, and we're going to plug it in, get some diagnostics running on it. First we're going to switch the diagnostic machine on here. There we go. And the OBD port is just down here by the pedal. We'll plug that in. First off, we'll just start the car up. Have a look at what we're looking at. Yeah, bonnet's open. Engine light's on. It's restricted to 2.5 revs, and there is literally no power basically, so it just doesn't drive very fast. Switch the ignition off, engine off, and put the ignition back on. Now we're just going to run some diagnostics, and we're just going to go through the list of cars and pick the appropriate one, and we'll run a diagnostic scan here. So we're just letting the scan run its course there. Already we've got 11 faults up here. Okay, so basically what's happening here is we've got 25 to 30 different codes, and there's too many different items to sort of, you know, give you an idea where you're looking at. So we've cleared all the codes. We're going to take it for a test drive, and we'll see what codes actually return. Hopefully there'll be less codes for us to look at, so it'll give us a better idea at where we're looking at. And we can already notice there it's idling a little bit high. Okay, we've got the service vehicle now come up, and that is accelerator all the way down. There's no power there. So what happens here is if we switch the car off, with it in gear, we're rolling now. Switch the ignition back on. Wait for all the lights to go back out. Now if we put our foot down, we're getting acceleration just for a few seconds, and then it will go back into limp again. So it kind of indicates like an overboost or an underboost fault. Okay, we've just pulled over, and here's the codes we have: turbocharger boost system performance, engine overboost, EGR, cylinder 1, 2, 3, glow plug, and the air mass meter. Okay, so we're going to check if the airflow meter, it's worth checking the air filter is not blocked up, and these ones we're not going to worry about just yet. We're more going to concentrate on the turbocharger overboost, because that's the symptoms that the car is given. It's got boost and then it suddenly loses it. So we'll have a look at the turbo. Here we're looking on live data. The engine's running, so it's a little bit loud here, but you can see there that the PSI is a little bit too high on the boost pressure sensor. And everything else seems to be okay, but we've got obviously that there, the boost pressure. So that's where we're going to be looking at. See, turbo's right here. Just down here, where I'm touching with my finger, you got the actuator rod, wastegate actuator. There's most likely an issue with that. The underboost and overboost codes, you either get your vanes are stuck open or stuck closed and they're not opening, or they're not closing, one or the other. Here you got the boost control solenoid, so this is vacuum controlled, and this will send vacuum down the line here and open and close the turbo. So we're going to check if this is working, and we're going to do that by using one of these Vacs. So what we're going to do is pull off this tube, top one here. We're going to connect our Vac onto that. So we've got the pipe here, or hose, connected, and you can see we're on 0 PSI there. So once we start the car, this pressure should increase and it should hold steady. So we'll start the car and see if that's building up. See, that's building up steady there. Just going to disconnect the other pipe here. Back to 0 again. that out and we plug it in. We're building boost pressure. Okay, so we'll just turn the engine off so you can hear what we're saying, but we've got vacuum going out and the vacuum is coming out the other side of the solenoid here, so that's working. Now we would put some pressure in this pipe and some pressure in this one and make sure that the pressure is building up, and not only is it building up, once we let go, does it stay or does it slowly decrease? If it's decreasing, you're going to have an air leak. If it's not decreasing, there's no leak, so everything should be working fine. First we're going to connect onto this hose and we're just going to build up some pressure manually here. And we can see that's nice and steady, so it's not leaking. Now we'll test the other pipe. Got this one connected, we're going to do the same again. So we've got pressure there, that's not leaking. Put this top one back on, and this is the one that goes to the wastegate actuator, so we're going to reconnect that and we're going to see if the actuator rod is moving there. Okay, so we've got the vacuum pump connected to the turbo down here. Let me just get the light on it so that this rod should go down when we're applying vacuum. Just going to apply some vacuum. And it's moved slightly there, but it's not moved half as much as what it should. So let's release the vacuum. You can see it's moved a couple of millimeters, but it should move. I'll put the pressure on again. It's not moving, it's just moving a tiny amount. So that should move a fair bit, but it's just moving a millimeter or so. So I think what the problem here is, we've got stuck vanes inside the turbo, which would normally mean you're going to need a replacement turbo really. One thing we can try is put a revived turbo cleaner in there, see if we can unstick the vanes. Sometimes that can work. It's maybe worth a try before you put a new turbo in, but we'll have a go at trying that. Here we've got revived turbo cleaner, power restorer. We've used this in the past, we've had a lot of success with it, so we're going to try it. But it's not guaranteed, as always. But we'll say it's definitely worth a try, so we're going to try and give it a go here. We've got the engine running. We're going to connect our laser pedal depressor down to the accelerator here. And we'll increase the revs to about 2.5. We've now switched the car off. We've used section A of the bottle, then we're going to use section B, and section C. This will be done in 3 stages, so we're going to let it sit for 5 minutes now. Now we'll let that sit for another 5 minutes. While we're waiting here, we're just having a check on the air filter. And I don't know if you can see there, but you see all of this filter is sort of waving back and forth like that. It's because it's collapsing, it's struggling to get air. Got a little bit of oil on there as well from the inlet there. But yeah, it's definitely worthwhile changing this air filter as well. It's always worthwhile checking your air filter if you've got any sort of breathing problems with your engine. So we'll look at getting that replaced as well. It's the 3 stages of the revived air done. We've got the MIDI vac again connected to this turbo actuator hose. Again, we're going to add pressure and see if we're getting the rod move. See there, it's definitely moved a little bit more than it was. Definitely moved more than it did it before. At least the pressure. Yeah, it's definitely moving a little bit better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to relearn the MAF sensor. It's worth a try just to see if it, if you do the readaptations on it, will it, you know, reconfigure itself and maybe work. So that's just in progress there. We'll wait till that's done. That's all successful, so we can continue. Okay, we've just started the car back up and we can now take it for a test drive. I can see something good there already. The engine idle is sitting a little bit better. So we're going to test drive it here. We're on a private road. See, there's a big difference. Getting a lot of boost. Okay, so we finished the test drive. We got the engine management light back on there, and here's the code that we have. It's the exhaust gas recirculation, so that's going to need changing. But the underboost fault, I'm pretty sure is gone, so that's all good on that.